Hello and
Hi.
welcome to. I don't know why I did that in such a high.
Avast,
Hello.
ye scurvy dogs!
Welcome.
Hello and welcome to The Last Word, our podcast where we talk about
Yeah.
various things and ramble as if the words we speak are our very last. We are
Not
your
scripted at all.
yeah. We are your host, Alec, Ghost of the Crowd, and Cheese
And
Puff
Cheese
Gaming.
Puff.
And
Me. Hi. How you doing? That's me.
if it wasn't fucking obvious, Caleb, I just realized we fucked up already.
That's fine. I knew it was gonna happen.
You do
I
you
was
know
ready for it.
do you know what our fuck up is already?
No, honestly.
You forgot the fucking pirate music.
Oh, pirate. Oh, wait. Just ignore what you. Okay, pirate music. Okay, that's been there the whole time. Don't think about it. Hey, pirates.
Oh
Yo
jeez.
ho hard me yady.
All right. If it's not
Matey.
obvious by this point, or you know,
At any point.
yeah, like if it's not obvious by this point, and if you listened to last week's episode, you would
I did.
know
I did
that
have some
we.
people watch it.
I mean, yeah, technically it was in YouTube video format, but it's literally just
Yeah.
a static image. But yeah, no, going off of
True.
our heavy hinting for last week and uh, the music right now and the fucking pirate speak today, or yeah, today's topic is going to be piracy, but not in
Piracy.
this fucking silly ass fucking way.
I mean, it depends on how you look at it.
I mean, it technically it's more like modern day piracy, but yeah. But basically,
Some Mullins.
this week's topic is going to be piracy in the form of, emulation and just torrenting sites and things of the like. And we're just going to kind of get into all that today. But
Yeah.
before we do, I do want to kind of just have a bit more of a casual thing. How are
Okay.
you, bud?
I have had better weekends. Much better. I
Yeah.
had probably the worst life kicking me in the nuts kind of weekend this past weekend,
Ow.
which I was kind of waiting to talk about on the show as well.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, we can do that.
so before we get into the piracy type of stuff, if that's all good, because I know yeah. But also, how are you doing before we get into that?
I'm good. Fucking tired. I ordered
Same.
gamer subs, and I just want
Nice.
them to be here.
What flavor did you get?
Guacamole Gamer Fart 9000.
What the? Okay.
Have you ever seen a Russian Badger video?
Oh
Yeah, it's his
yeah.
flavor. So, but the flavor
Nice.
itself is actually like a strawberry lime. Joshua, my
Oh,
brother, he got a free sample pack, and
nice.
that thankfully was one of the flavors, and I was excited
Oh,
about it. It
okay.
was like Guacamole Gamer Fart 9000, Titty Milk, and Misfit Melon or something. Misfit Melon's like a
Yeah.
generic flavor that's just
Oh,
melon.
okay.
Titty Milk was like blue raspberry and milk.
Nice.
And I was
Nice.
surprised I liked it.
Yeah,
Uh,
that is different for sure.
yeah. The melon wasn't bad. I just prefer melon in a soda format.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And of course, the strawberry lime was so good that I bought it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm very much excited for those to come in, especially
yeah.
because don't they don't have a chalky taste.
Nice.
But yeah, no. Also a disclaimer: we aren't fucking sponsored by
Yeah,
Gamer
no.
Subs, but we'd like to be.
We'd like to be, one
Not,
day.
and I know, like literally last week signing off, like I was like, oh yeah, by the way, like I'm not wanting to like pressure anybody, and it's and into like liking, subscribing, and all that shit, and like, and I know this me going, I'd like to be sponsored, sounds like I'm going against all the shit I said in my return video. I still feel that
not
way.
entirely.
I still feel that way.
Yeah.
Because it's less so me wanting to be sponsored for the money and more so just because that sounds like it would be cool as fuck.
Would
Just
be a cool thing.
because, like, this fucking entity trusts me. Like,
Trust me with the
yeah, trust
chaos
me
that is
with
here.
with their integrity.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, I ordered that over the weekend, and like we were a bit short-handed at work. But other than that, there's nothing really too bad.
That's
Uh,
good.
or well, I say that. The other day, JJ gave me a scare, but I'm not gonna talk about that
Okay.
in depth on here.
Yeah, that's fun.
JJ being JJ, he's
Hmm.
fine. Love him to death, but like he,
But damn.
but text messages are just fucking horrible. That being said,
Yeah.
what happened with you?
Okay. So, starting Friday nights, we get home from work, we're chilling out, playing games or cleaning, all that kind of fun stuff. Just getting ourselves ready for the weekend,
Mm.
And um, around 11:30, almost 12 o'clock that night, um, Taylor's out in the living room, and there was a puddle behind the couch.
Oh.
And so our immediate thoughts was that, oh, Ollie might have accidentally went to the bathroom in the living room, didn't tell us, yada yada. But we couldn't smell, or we didn't smell pee or anything
Mm.
like that coming from it. And whenever we went to wipe it up, it wasn't yellow; it was just clear. It was water. Um, so that was really odd, and started going back, following where the puddle was coming from, and it was coming from underneath our baseboard,
Oh.
up against the wall
Oh
where
shit.
the oven and fridge and all that stuff is.
Yeah.
It was on the opposite wall of that, and so I was like, okay, well, I'll clean it up, put some towels on there, get it all wiped up. It looked like it stopped for a little bit. I was like, okay, we'll just leave a towel here just in case it starts again, and we'll deal with it in the morning. So I'm already tired, been up way too long today. Do it tomorrow. And so we get up Saturday morning. She goes to take Ollie out to the bathroom, and she steps in puddles of water.
Mm.
And so comes back and is like, our living room is flooded.
Oh
I'm like,
shit.
oh, what? And she's like, it's flooded. I'm like, wait, like how deep? Like knee deep? She's like, no, but it's there, it's flooded. And I was like, okay. So I go out there, look at it, and yeah, sure enough, all the way from that corner, all the way to the other side of the living room where Ollie's bed was, and about halfway, uh, to like pretty much half of the living room was just flooded in water,
Oh shit.
which was wonderful. Great way to start the morning.
You figure out what
And
happened?
yes, eventually we did. So we start taking things out. We can rush and get all the furniture out into the garage because we don't know what's going on at this point. We have Taylor's friend come over to help us because no, we didn't know of anybody else that was awake at that time
Right.
that would be able to come over. And so she brought her steam cleaner and stuff, and then we got well, she went to go get a shop bag so we could get that all cleaned up. Um, but all that was going on, we get the big heavy couch, start moving that out to the garage, almost break my foot. So that was wonderful 'cause that
Mm.
fell on my foot. Still hurts. Great.
Are you sure it's not broke?
I don't think it is. It's just really swollen. It's not like
Okay.
really swollen. It's just the top is swollen. So but we do all that, get it all cleaned up, and the plumber is finally able to come out, takes a look at it, and we have to take the whole fridge out. And funny story, our fridge is like super tightly packed in where it's at.
Yeah.
Because whenever we moved it in, we had to pull up the baseboard and the quarter round, or the maintenance guy did, because we're renting this house. Pulled up the baseboard, quarter round, trimmed a little bit off the cabinets. That way we could put the fridge in, because that's the only thing we needed to bring. That and washer and dryer, but that was no problem. So he comes out, he gets that pulled up, we get the fridge out, looks behind it, and happened to be a loose nut or something on one of the water lines to the ice maker.
Oh.
And so that's what was causing all
Oh
that
no.
water to fill up and go
So
crazy.
basically, your fucking fridge was leaking.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the ice maker, well, the water line was leaking.
Oh no.
Yeah, and so he was able to get that fixed. Um, we got it all cleaned up, and then we reorganized the whole living room Sunday actually, because by the time we got all this done, it was like halfway throughout the day. It was already gone and done, and then on top of that, trying to clean up the kitchen as well. The garbage disposal went out,
Oh.
and then our lawnmower broke.
God. Look,
Um,
who did you piss off?
I don't
Like,
know.
what
Like,
voodoo witch did
shit,
you
I don't
just
know.
like? It's just like, take Mrs. Rigatoni. I can't remember the fucking name. The old lady from Holes. You
Oh,
got cursed by the
yeah,
old lady from Holes.
yeah. I swear it felt like it because like it wasn't the entire mower that
Yeah.
broke. It was the throttle line
Well,
because it's a
how long have you had that
self-propel
mower?
since we moved in, so a little over 2 years.
Ah.
So it's not too bad, but like
Yeah.
the little metal part for the spring that hooks into the bar underneath for the throttle to go.
Yeah.
That part snapped.
Mm.
Which we've already been having trouble with it already. But then the best part, as if our living room getting flooded wasn't great enough, our dryer went out.
Oh fuck.
So we went up to Lowe's yesterday and ordered a new one.
Have fun with that
Which,
shit.
yeah, I know.
Because you and I
Um,
both know from personal experience, just from being on the inside of that whole company,
oh yeah,
that they do not uh, have a lot of good experiences when it comes to the handling of appliances like that.
yeah.
Like I've just heard bad stories, both like from that specific store
Mm-hmm.
and from like people online. Just like nothing good comes out of it.
Yeah.
So
Which
hopefully,
hopefully
yeah,
it goes
hopefully
well.
nothing goes like awry with that.
Yeah. If anything, we got an extended warranty on it too, just in case something happens.
I just gotta say
Uh,
the fucking pirate music is really heavily contrasting this shit. Like part of me was like, should he shut this off for this story?
nah,
But like at the
it's
same
fine.
time, I'm just kind of here like
It's like we're in a
like
tavern
da-
talking.
da- 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 da.
Yeah.
and see, not gonna lie, this doesn't come off completely as pirate to me,
Yeah.
and so like I think it also works just as a oh, it's a loop. I thought it was gonna like go into different songs, but this is
Is it
actually
not different songs?
for me. I don't. Yeah, no, it just looped back to the start. I think to me it
Sounds
just kind of
different.
sounds like it's one long loop song, but it's fine.
Oh.
I like it.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
I think my
I was like,
brother
if we need to change
I
it, we
think
can
my
always
brother
look
lit
something else.
incense in the other room cuz I can
Nice.
smell it. I'm just like I just breathed in. I'm like, is that dragon's blood?
Nice.
But yeah, no, it smells real fucking nice from the other room.
Heck yeah.
But yeah,
But yeah, that was our
hopefully all
weekend.
that gets taken care of. That really fucking
I hope
sucks
so too.
ass.
Yeah, it was great. It's like
Also, I moved my mic
yeah.
a little bit from my mouth. How do I sound?
Still sounded pretty good. How about me?
Okay. I mean, you've sounded fine this whole time, but we won't
Okay,
really know
cool,
for
cool.
sure until
After.
yeah, until until post.
Yeah, it'd
Because
be
like I'm
fine.
watching my thing and like I
Yeah.
kept peeking, just talking normally, and I'm like,
I mean,
I I
it's not
worry.
too bad, because I don't know, the way you want to look at it is
Yeah.
it varies. Every single mic is different.
I want to just get a better mic. I really
Yeah.
do.
I mean, if anything, too, until you're able to, if you wanted to borrow my blue snowball again,
Yeah.
I wouldn't care.
And
That way
see,
you have.
since like I have a bit more fucking space for it, it wouldn't even be a
Yeah.
problem and everything. Cause like it's not like I have anything on my left side anyway. Cause like
True.
I don't have a camera set up, and so like there's no way for me to really set up a camera at the moment, and I don't want to get
I gotcha.
anything too crazy before like the end of July. Cause
Yeah.
I hadn't mentioned this. Another thing that's going on but I don't want to. I hate giving people definite and everything, or like making things sound definite. But to me, it comes off as definite. But
Yeah.
we're probably going to be moving because Mom's looking for a place to have Josh and I move into
Oh.
and everything, because she basically lives with her boyfriend anyway, and I think the lease on this place is going up. But she's wanting to find a cheaper place, and
Gotcha.
it'll basically just be a place for Josh and I, and then we'll just like pay our parts on the rent and shit.
Cool. Yeah.
And so
Whenever
like,
that happens, let me know, and I'll help
yeah.
you move.
Oh, I appreciate it, Ben.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's no problem.
But yeah, no, most
Plus, I
likely.
got a truck, so
Yeah.
we can haul whatever we need.
Yeah, but like, the thing is, most likely somewhere in July, if not by August, there'll be like a move of some kind, and so I'm trying not to put anything else up on the fucking walls. I'm trying not to order anything crazy like a new desk or anything, even though I want a new desk, so I can just replace the two that I have that are just side by side.
Oh yeah, no, I don't blame you.
Yeah, but then I forgot. Oh yeah, the mic thing. Yeah, the mic. I would appreciate it because
yeah, it's no problem.
Because my only worry is how close I'd have to fucking get to that damn thing.
Yeah, and
like how close?
I mean,
like how close do you think I would have to be to it?
Good rule of thumb, 4 to 6 inches.
So, if I put it on my fucking desk, I'd have to literally just be like leaned right the fuck into it. God.
Well, no, here, if anything, you could use my extra mic stand that I have as well. It is a little bit bigger because it's like made for like standing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it would be easier to rotate it in and out to where you can like adjust it where you want it to sit.
Yeah.
Depending on, you know, as long as you can the USB reaches.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just this fucking aside of need better mic. Well, here's the solution. We here at the Last Word Podcast give you top quality content.
Exactly, and life advice and technical advice, you know, whatever.
Don't order from low.
Nah, I don't mind those. I mean, there are horror stories and stuff like that you do get,
like,
but it's not overall. It's not terrible.
Yeah,
not too bad.
Every company has their problems.
That they do.
But much like how those things with 2 wheels and a handlebar are, look, a Segway. Now let's get into the fucking topic.
The pirates. The pirating.
The Mets. The Mets, baby.
The Mets.
The Mets. The Mets. It's all about the Mets. Come on, Mets.
Like whatever you want to call it, you know, piracy, you know, what's another word?
I'm pretty sure
torrenting. I don't know.
For the most part, I think just the catch-all term is just piracy.
Piracy.
But in regard to what we have set aside for today as our topic, piracy, we are definitely referring to for the most part when it comes to digital format kind of stuff. Basically, whether it be video games or TV shows and movies and stuff the like, oftentimes you will have people that, you know, much like how there are probably many people that you all may know in your own lives. It may be you who will go into like a third-party website and be like, or you're like, I want to watch fucking, I don't know, the new Spider-Man movie that's come out, but you know, that's the thing. I don't know if it may not be a good example because I have no idea if Across the Spider-Verse is even streaming anywhere, because I know that there have been a few movies that have released both on platforms and in theaters.
It's Mario.
Mario.
Mario would be a better
Is that
example.
not streaming
I
to
think it's
Paramount
streaming
though?
right now. Is it on Paramount?
Yeah, what I was trying to
No.
get at is like it's like, oh, if it's just in theaters, then that's more or less watch it fucking bootleg, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, I guess the other example of like, if a movie comes out, but basically like regardless of like, oh, if it's just in theaters and streaming on like one fucking platform or only streaming to one platform, the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut's a good example.
Or Game of Thrones.
I, I never watched Game of Thrones.
Well, I mean, just another,
Right.
kind of
But
popular
like, but yeah,
show
like
type
the
of thing.
Snyder Cut when it came out and everything, yeah, it was
Mhm.
only on what platform was that?
HBO Max.
HBO Max. Not everybody has HBO Max.
Yeah.
And so I guess we'll start this off like with TV and movies and stuff.
Yeah. That'll
But
work.
like, so not everybody has streaming platforms. Not everybody can afford them. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
like, oh,
Dear Lord, Ollie.
yeah, you tell them, Ollie.
What's
Uh,
up, buddy?
but yeah, no, like not everybody can afford them, or they will see a platform. It's like, oh, there's this one thing I want,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the only thing on the platform that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
It's like how I was with Hulu. Is like, oh, I really got that just for Rick and Morty and Animaniacs, and that was it.
I gotcha.
And so I was like, I don't see a point in keeping this anymore. Netflix,
Mhm.
not a damn thing on there I gave a shit about.
Yeah.
Either I saw everything on there or I was watching things elsewhere anyway. And
That is
everything.
very true.
And so like it just becomes a point of that, and also like a lot of these streaming services tend to make very poor business decisions that a
Yeah.
lot of people just don't agree with. Like Netflix and all of their decisions lately.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the account change shit. But
Yeah, that was. Mhm.
yeah,
That I don't.
like
I
literally
don't know.
2 years ago they were like, love is sharing a or yeah, it's like love is sharing a password or something like that.
Yeah.
And
And they went completely back on it.
yeah, they completely backpedaled on it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why you gonna lie like that?
Mm-hmm.
Like why are you literally going to be a hypocrite and show, oh, that post was literally just for the sake of getting people to be okay with your platform and everything.
Yeah.
Which, business is business, but come on, man.
Yeah, exactly.
But in regards to piracy, here's where an example comes in. You watched the original, what was it, Justice League?
Yeah.
Yeah, you watched the original Justice League, and then you're like, this was kind of fucking mid. And then there's an announcement of there being a Snyder Cut, and there's a development in getting that like finalized and getting that released. Then you find out it's only going to be on the streaming platform HBO Max. And you're just like, well, shit. I don't want to get HBO Max just for this fucking one thing, especially this
Yeah.
4-hour fucking movie. I know you're not playing Destiny 2 while we're on this podcast.
No.
Don't lie to me. Steam just said.
No. I'm just. No, I was gonna go through, like, Vault and stuff and clean out while we were talking.
Here I am, being the good boy, sitting here just staring at the fucking screen because my
I'm doing
ADHD will not let me focus if I'm doing something else. But anyway, the example, it's like, oh, I don't want to get HBO Max. There's nothing else on there. I'm not interested in any of it and everything. And so what do? You do what a lot of fucking people do, I guess, when it comes to like regular movies that aren't like anime, and you go to fucking like TikTok or something where someone is uploading entire fucking movies and TV shows in fucking increments, and you're just like,
I've been seeing that way more here lately.
like
It just makes.
when Free Guy came out,
Yeah.
JJ watched that all on TikTok. I was like, oh,
That
okay.
works.
Yeah, and it's like, that's fucking crazy. How does that not get taken down?
Yeah.
And everything, and it's just like, but the fact that like people would rather sit through, like, it's kind of like back in the day how a lot of people would watch stuff in like segments on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Like how much anime I have watched on YouTube that was just in like, I think 8-minute increments, I think, or something like
Mhm.
that, or like 30-minute increments, is just baffling.
Yeah.
And now I look back and I go, but cause I wouldn't have the patience to have to click through all those videos, and especially with ads and shit.
Oh yeah.
But like, but with that case, it's like, oh, well, either you could spend the stupid amount to get this for like just this one movie, and sure,
Mhm.
you could always like try to get into other stuff, but like if you're not seeing anything at surface value or on the surface that you're just like, oh, I want to watch that, then what's the point?
Yeah.
And so that's where piracy comes in. That's
Oh yeah.
where you go, well, where can I watch this for free without
Mhm.
having to pay for anything? You get on your computer or your phone and you start typing it all up and you look for it, and then boom, you find fucking free movies online dot fucking whatever. And that is not a website. I don't think it is. I'm not going to look it up, especially not on my computer. I fear that would give my computer viruses. I was just bullshitting the name, but a lot of
Yeah.
them are like typically like that. And
Oh
like
yeah.
even
Of
through
course.
like the hundreds of free movies online dot fucking whatever, there's
Mhm.
only going to be one that actually works right. And
Oh
everything. There's
exactly.
always only ever that one gold mine that's like, yes, this is the thing that's going to
This is the
work.
one.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the one. And then you find out it's more than just a one-off. It has all kinds of shit that you could just watch
Mhm.
for free and maybe have to like click through ads or whatever a little bit. Like it's like, oh, it has, you just have to click some X's to get shit off your screen, but that's usually
Yeah.
it. And then boom, you can watch
And
the
you're good.
Snyder cut.
Oh yeah.
The whole premise of why piracy thrives going off of streaming platforms kind of pull it more into anime, because this is where we kind of left off last week.
Mhm.
Uh, with anime, that's a huge thing. Having like third-party sites, many people remember Kiss Anime and Watch Cartoon Online and stuff like that. I only mention those because I'm pretty damn sure those are gone, and uh, it is
I
because they were taken down
makes sense. No, I'm
because
not
they,
100% sure because I never
yeah.
used those
I
to be
never
completely
used Kiss
honest.
Anime. I for the
Yeah.
longest time I used Just Dubs, but then like
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't hopped on there for a while, and I hopped on after a long time, and they had
Okay.
completely changed their site up to
Gotcha.
even have like regular like Western cartoons. I'm like, I don't want to fucking sift through like Rick and Morty and fucking South Park and shit like that to get to
Yeah.
fucking anime. Even though I could just search that shit up. Like if I'm trying to take a look at like what's recently come out that should be on the front page, I don't want to have to
Mm-hmm.
deal with all that other stuff. And plus, if you started off as a dedicated anime site, then be that way, or at least like
Yeah.
split your stuff up a bit better. But like in regards to, you know, anime torrenting sites, you have given me crap about it,
Hmm.
but you don't
Well,
really argue too much against it. You want
no,
to.
because okay, so kind of kind of looking at that, going off of the whole anime, torrenting, whatever. Um, I don't really see too much of an issue with it. Like the only reason I ever give crap is because I get crap in return when it
Right.
comes to emulation.
Yeah, which we'll get to that
But which we'll
later
get to that
in.
here in a
Yeah.
minute. Yeah. But like one of my or some of my earliest memories when it comes to um like torrenting, and all that kind of stuff, like movies that are in theater, was whenever I was younger. We went over to my parents had some friends that we went to church with, and we went over to their house one weekend to watch a movie. I think that movie was Shrek 2, I believe.
Yeah. Wait,
Pretty sure
hold
it
on.
was.
Did you guys fucking torrent Shrek 2?
We didn't, but the family friends did.
Oh god, that's
Because
funny.
he had there was some website that he used, and we watched it on their TV or whatever. I don't know. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I didn't know
Yeah.
half of what was going on. Then I spent the next several weeks trying to figure out what that website was, but I could never find it.
I gotta watch Shrek 2 again.
Well, no, I wanted to see what else was on there because he kind of scrolled through it, and I could see what else was there, and I'm like, I want to watch
Yeah.
stuff on there.
Which,
Because
like, genuinely, that's basically a similar situation to me
yeah,
when my brother showed me a better site than I was using. Again, I'm not gonna name drop shit. I don't want my shit to get taken down. And like, I know a lot of people are very much, oh, I don't advocate doing this. It's very wrong.
mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Like,
Like, sure, this could be evidence, incriminating evidence of piracy, but like, it's not like I'm the one doing the pirating. I mean, technically, I am. I'm the watcher, the viewer, but like,
you're
it's
not
the
making
one.
money
Yeah,
off of it.
I'm
Though.
not
You're not
making money
hurting
off
them.
of it. Yeah, and I'm pretty damn
No.
sure neither are the people that that run these sites. Their
Unless
money
they
is
have
all.
ads.
Yeah, I was about to say all their money's through ads.
Yeah, but still, they could potentially take that and
Yeah.
look at it and be like,
But also,
this
a lot
revenue
of
came
these
from this
sites
site.
are like, if you look at their URLs, you'll see like non-American URLs, and they tend to change URLs a lot too. Like they'll jump between different countries and stuff for their URL and everything. And so like, genuinely, the way I look at it is, and I think between the two of us, I think we're both kind of unanimous on this, it sounds. But like, with torrenting sites, when it comes to like me personally, if it's a movie and it's out in your country and everything, like, maybe be a bit more genuine about it, because we'll mention the same thing about video games here in a bit. But like, because me, like, the whole reason I have Disney Plus is because if I miss it in theaters because I just get too busy, I can at least catch it I can at least catch it around the time it's out of theaters and still be able to watch it. Like, that's what happened. That's what happened with the new Ant-Man movie.
Yeah.
Is I was like, I'll go see it, and then I was like, oh shit, I missed it. When I finally went to go see it, and I was like, well, looks like I'm watching Guardians. So it was like a win-win, but
yeah.
But yeah, no, but the thing is, I'm like, yeah, I'll watch that, but I'm not gonna hop on fucking TikTok and
sit there and watch it.
Yeah, because like, I feel like, for one, that's annoying as shit. Two, it feels a little rude and disingenuous. That's one of the moments where it's like, okay, that is like, that's kind of robbery and everything.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be like a punk or something like that and be like, oh yeah, fuck the companies. It's like, nah, man, fuck you.
No.
But yeah, with that, it's like, I'd rather just watch it in theaters or wait until it comes out like on DVD or on streams on a service I actually use. Because like, every now and then, like, I'll watch other stuff on Disney Plus, and that's the only reason why I have that.
No.
But like, when it comes to anime, I think I mentioned it last week. I don't have Crunchyroll. I don't have Funimation. I don't have any of the.
Funimation doesn't exist anymore.
Or well, yeah, no one has Funimation anymore. Funimation is gone. And that's partly due to all the.
Well, they were just bought out.
Yeah,
by Crunchyroll.
they were bought out. So about that, I will lead up to that in a minute. But the thing is, like I said last week, the reason why I use these third-party torrenting websites is because I want the episodes when they excuse me. I want these episodes when they come out. I don't want to have to wait. I know that sounds impatient, but like the fact and who knows, maybe over the years, you guys can let us know in the comments, but over the
No.
years they might have gotten better and better about releasing episodes, like getting the sub done, because like I'm not even gonna fucking bother with the dub, because
Yeah.
dub always takes like a week or two anyway to
Oh,
come
exactly.
out. Like the dub is always behind. I don't care what you say, but like the sub specifically, that could be at a point because Crunchyroll got that Funimation buy-in money now,
Mm-hmm.
but who knows? Crunchyroll could be very on top of the game, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I saw a little bit of that more proactiveness before dropping off of them completely, but I only noticed it with certain series. Basically, your typical popular shonen and stuff like that. It's like, oh yeah, we have a simulcast of Black Clover, and it's like, all right, cool, cool, cool,
Yeah.
and it wasn't even subbed. It was raw,
Hmm.
and I was upset. I'm like, Crunchyroll, you're supposed to be a sub website, and I think this was also before Funimation was bought out. Funimation was also doing a thing too like that. It's like, oh hey, we got the latest episode of like Black Clover or My Hero or something like that. It's like, cool, yeah, awesome, let's watch it. And I started up. It's raw, not even dubbed, not even subbed. And I'm like, Funimation, you're the dub website. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And so
Trying to get ahead
like,
of everybody else.
right. And so like, it's just these. And the thing is, that's really funny is, like I think I said last week, Crunchyroll used to be one of these websites.
Mm-hmm.
They used to be the very thing that they are now currently fucking losing money to,
Yeah.
because uh basically the point that, because my brother, I said he could possibly be on today, but he's got other stuff going on,
Mm-hmm.
so apologies about that. But basically, from what I can gather from his report, was that because he wrote an essay on this in college and everything, it was for like an English class or something like that he had. Is like comp 1 or 2. I'm not quite sure what was going on with it,
No.
but they were impressed by his writing. But it was basically over the fact that streaming sites or streaming programs like Funimation and Crunchyroll and all the like the named like producer ones and everything like Toei and Aniplex and all that, they suffer because of being so divided.
Yeah.
And it's why these third-party sites flourish and just thrive so much, because they literally have no competition.
Oh yeah.
Like they have practically instant access to all this stuff so long as it's online, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And they get it subbed or whatever, and then they get it online, and then boom, it is just like that. And there is no contest. And so he proposed, he's like, the only way that they could compete with these third-party websites is if they basically could get all the rights under one like company and could put out stuff and all that. But even then, they would still struggle just because of how they handle everything.
Yeah.
And the thing is, all these companies want to fight over rights, and they want to, be greedy and keep things to themselves, to the point to where they compete with themselves and keep themselves very bogged down and kind of in one place. Whereas you see these torrenting sites just going to the fucking moon.
Yeah.
And it's honestly insane to see this kind of stuff happening. But like, it's also why I have zero faith and zero faith in these sites like Crunchyroll, especially when they're a hypocrite like Crunchyroll, being formerly one of the very fucking sites that we're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's why I also just don't want to put any of my money towards Crunchyroll, because I'm like,
Oh yeah.
you're not doing a lot to get rights and like, production stuff over new shit. I've
Mm-hmm.
practically seen everything on here somewhere else. And not only that, but there's just all kinds of paywalls behind shit. Cause like even free Crunchyroll, right? Free
Yeah.
Crunchyroll with ads, at most you can watch 2 episodes of an anime. And that's been my experience for years with that. And it's just like, okay, so you're putting a paywall behind the rest of a series. Basically, you're only providing enough stuff for free, because it's one thing to have the ads, right? Like, I can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a free application with ads, then that's understandable. That's how you're
Oh.
paying for your platform. But if you're also going to put up a paywall to do more with anything inside the application, then you're just being greedy. And I
Oh,
get it, it's a
exactly.
company, I know, but at the same time, you can't expect people to eagerly want to pay out the fucking ass left and right all the fucking time.
No.
And so, like, it's just, I don't see it really doing all that well. And so you see moves like, oh, they bought out Funimation, or it's like they had their merger years ago, right? They had their
Mm-hmm.
merger, and then they split apart because of wouldn't you know it, an issue with ownership rights
Yeah.
over a certain anime or something like that. And so, or it was like production rights or something like that. And so they split apart. And so recently, Funimation was bought out by Crunchyroll. So it's a smart business venture for them. But the thing is, unless they can buy out other companies and shit, and, basically have practically everything to put out,
Yeah.
they're not really going to go anywhere. And that's the thing. They aren't going to go anywhere because they can't afford to buy out from Netflix and other things like that are just these giants.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in that regard, shit's fucked. And I would say, like, it's very clear that my standing on it is it's fine. Go to that third party website, watch all so many odd episodes of Naruto or whatever the fuck. Like, are you definitely, like, I know you have these streaming apps,
Yeah.
but would you say that
What's
uh sorry, I know I'm
no, you're
talking a lot.
good. No, no, I was just trying to make sure I was listening for the question.
Yeah,
Didn't want to miss it.
yeah, but would you say that you're definitely, like, are you or are you not on that same boat though?
Same boat of
The same boat
go
of,
for
yeah, for or against torrenting sites. Like,
oh well, like like I was saying before with things, it's all kind of depends on what it is, especially when it comes to anime, that kind of stuff.
yeah,
I don't see problem, in all honesty. That doesn't bother me, in all honesty at all. Um Now the well, maybe I should reword that. Because I mean it doesn't, but I get where people do come from
yeah,
when it's when it is about that. Because that does make sense, but that seems to be a little bit more of a gray area
yeah,
when it does come to those kind of things. Because you have one side, it's perfectly for it, one side is perfectly against it, or ultimately against it,
yeah.
ultimately for it. and then people that are right in the middle that don't really have an opinion either way. Um, but when it does come to anime movies, shows, um,
Yeah.
you gotta think about the because I mean obviously the creator can't go out there or the mangaka can't go out there and just open up a whole new anime studio and get
Right.
their manga created and have their own
And
and
that is a valid point,
all that kind of
because
stuff.
that is the one takeaway from it,
Yeah,
which I actually, genuinely slips my mind
no, you're
and
good.
everything. And I think we touched on it a little bit last week,
I think so.
both on the video game side of things and uh, just in general.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole, yes, you get much more free access to it, but at the same time, none of that money goes back to, or as far as I know, none of that money goes back to the creator. Now, who
Yeah,
knows? Maybe how they're getting these kinds of things is like they go out and buy the fucking Blu-ray box set of fucking High School DxD, and then
yeah,
they fucking rip that straight from the discs and then put it up online. Which
exactly.
I would think that, like, with older stuff, that's probably how they do that,
Mm-hmm.
because like that just makes sense, you
Yeah.
know? Because like that's no different from like how you end up with video games online,
Oh yeah.
but that's even before they launch. Like someone has a copy and they just rip the
They upload
files,
it
yeah, and
and
they
yeah.
upload it and everything. So like that is the one downside, but at the same time, like what I did say last week for sure was that if I find something online and I like it enough, like after watching it on this third party site, I can just be like, okay, cool. Well, let's see. Do they have any merchandise? Do they have a DVD
Mm-hmm.
box set, or like do they have anything that I could, get that would support the creator?
Yeah.
Cuz that is another thing though, is that like a lot of merchandise that you probably buy probably doesn't, that money probably just doesn't go to the creator, because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of that kind
Depends.
of
Yeah.
stuff is fan made anyway,
Oh, exactly.
especially the more niche stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who the fuck out here is really a fan of Rock Lee?
Of Rock Lee.
Yeah, no,
I like Rock Lee.
I'm just shitting on you. I know for a fact people like Rock Lee.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, but that's the kind of point though. It's like, who genuinely likes character number 7 in insert show here, you know? Like, that's the thing. Like, there's only so much you can do with it. But at the end of the day, like, we're not saying go out and do this shit.
It's up to your own
Yeah,
discretion.
this is more so us just kind of
Talking about it.
discussing it, especially because this is something we have actually gone back and forth on several times.
Oh yeah.
Uh, but with that being said, going into the next, the probably the more heated part of this,
Hmm.
video games.
Video game. I'll start this one out.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'll let you start this one because
Okay.
you're the one that basically puts up a fucking shield and then bashes people's heads in the second they fucking even try to contest.
Yeah.
Because like,
So
whereas it's definitely more of a, we don't really care if you watch anime illegally, but then when it comes to video games, we are definitely hard fucking paralleled.
video games is a uh, just feels like a completely different medium in comparison to something like anime or movies or or TV or whatever.
Yeah.
So whenever companies put out a new game, for example, whenever Tears of the Kingdom was
Yeah.
coming out, that's just the most recent example.
Tears of the Kingdom,
Um,
Scarlet and Violet, because I know what you're about to lead up
mhm.
into.
Yeah, like that. Those games were released to the public early. Unfortunately, just some retailers, and then they let certain people buy
Hell,
them, and just like
and not even
uh,
just like released early in some cases. It was like beta testers were putting stuff up
that
online
too,
too.
yeah. And like one person in particular that I did see, who was putting content out for tiers before the game even came out, already had the game like a month ahead of time, I think, something like that, or a few weeks.
Fucking really?
Was Sacred.
Sacred
He had
Almighty?
Yeah, he
I
has
actually
a
didn't know
separate
that.
website.
Yeah,
Yep.
because
Yeah.
I had unsubbed from him from a little while back because I just
Hmm.
got to where I was like, this man, like a little side tangent here. He's annoying as hell.
Yeah.
Like,
I
and that's a
don't usually
lot
watch
coming.
his
That's
stuff,
a
but
loaded
like,
statement coming from me.
yeah.
But didn't
I was
even
just
hesitate.
curious
You,
because.
but yeah, no. Like the thing is, he's just. I just got to where I just couldn't stand him. All of his
Oh
videos are
yeah.
clickbait.
Hmm.
Like he has those clickbaity ass fucking thumbnails and titles, and half his fucking video is also him plugging his website
Yeah.
where he
And that's the website that I'm talking about
yeah.
as well.
But I didn't realize he had gotten the game early and was putting shit out early, even though that violates the whatever the fuck it's called.
TOA or
Yeah, the
something like that or whatever.
the don't play this before.
But he didn't see. That's the thing. From the way that I understood it, the way he was talking about it, he didn't get it from Nintendo. He got it from like a local friend that worked at a store that sold
And
it to him for like
that's
more.
worse. Because
Yeah,
it's one thing, it's like Nintendo's like, hey, we have this partnership with
or
you.
NDA. It
Yeah,
wasn't an NDA.
yeah. It's like, hey, we have this partnership with you. Here's a copy of the game early and
Yeah,
everything.
that's completely different.
Yeah, that's different. What he did is actually straight up illegal.
Oh, that's not even the best part. Um, well, I mean, technically, I wouldn't say illegal because like, uh, well,
Or well,
I don't know. I
probably not.
wouldn't.
Yeah,
It's
it's
more
something to
immoral.
look more into with it.
Yeah,
But like, it's
but he.
definitely something he shouldn't have been able to do.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's
Because the game
unfortunately.
comes out, even if it was like an early release copy
Hmm.
or like a promotional, like, hey, here, we're giving you this game early, promote it,
Yeah.
like plug it, fucking shill it, like whatever you want to do, just like make us look good
Oh, exactly.
and everything. But like, no, it wasn't even that.
No, no, it wasn't even to my understanding. No,
Yeah.
it's been a little over a month since I've seen this video,
Hmm.
but no, he had it up on the website. But it wasn't up just go in and watch it. You had to subscribe to him with
Yeah.
money to watch the video or to watch his premium content.
So
I
he
guess you could
got
say.
the game
So
early when he shouldn't have,
yeah,
and was making money off of content being put up
early.
privately.
Yep. So that was
So
one thing. That
how?
wasn't pirated
So
though,
here's my question
because
then. I mean, technically, some piracy. That was physical piracy.
because it was an actual retail release.
Yeah, it was a
You
retail
know,
release, but it was
but he got
sold
it
ahead of time.
beforehand. Exactly.
Yeah, it
And
was
that kind of
sold
stuff happens
early.
all the time.
So
But people don't.
that was more like real life piracy.
Kind of, yeah. If you think, yeah, you can think about it like that, because
Cause
like that kind of stuff happens all the time,
mhm.
sadly. But it's not always, put up online or
Yeah,
distributed the way he did, and that's completely different. But there were also, kind of going off of that, there were people um, that were using Discord to link the what was it called? Just basically the ROM file. They're not ROMs. They're called something different. I forget the name
yeah.
of the Switch files. Um, but they were putting those up on Discord for people to download. You can go in and go to a download link, um, just sketchy one, albeit.
Yeah.
But and play the game there if you know what you're doing. And because I was kind of following it, seeing what all was going on with the leaks and stuff, and just trying to see what people are doing, and all that kind of good stuff. Never downloaded that one because I was just like, that just no,
I
no,
would
thank you.
hope
I
that
can
you
wait a
didn't
week.
fucking
Uh, no,
download it.
no,
Which knowing you, I know you wouldn't.
Yeah, no. The only way I would download, like a new game or a modern game or whatever like that that's like only on Switch, not PC or whatever, would be like if I bought it. If I had the actual
Right,
physical
same.
copy,
Like,
that's different.
and that's the thing. I can understand being excited for the game and wanting to play it as soon as possible. But
But
like,
pirating, it's completely
right,
different.
like for
There was
one,
even somebody in one of my comments from the "You thought you bought Tears of the Kingdom" video.
yeah.
He was like, "Yep, no, downloaded that, played it, and on an emulator for like 30 minutes. God of War is better." So I disliked his comment.
I,
I left it up, but I just left a
blocked,
dislike on it.
deleted, like reported.
But yeah, I was just
Like,
like, whatever.
first
I
of
don't
all,
care.
guy. First of all, if you're listening to this, thank you.
Thank
Second,
you. No.
secondly though, fuck you. Fucking,
Exactly.
I played it for 30 minutes to God of War better. Fucking,
I'm just like, dude, are you stupid? Like, do you even know what a good game is at this point?
because here's the thing. From my understanding, a lot of the God of War games are pretty good,
Yeah.
including the two newest ones. But like, first of all, that's bait. Second, technically, yes, I did just fall for it. Third, like, bro, first of all, if you think you're cool for your comment, you're not,
Yeah.
because you fucking illegally downloaded this game.
Oh yeah. And like,
Like,
it's just the take was
yeah,
the worst part. Like, I
oh,
could care less if
definitely.
you downloaded. I'm just like, if you think the God of War is better than this, then no, you're just. I mean, that's my opinion, but in all honesty, it's
Right.
also
Because, like,
facts. Uh,
because with that take, it's like, oh, everyone's entitled to their own opinions and all that, but at the same time, they're two completely different games.
yes,
You can't,
exactly.
there's no way you could compare the two. Like,
You can try all day, but it's just
now,
not gonna
if
work.
it was like, oh yeah, I played it for 30 minutes, I like Breath of the Wild more,
Yeah,
that's,
that's different.
yeah, that's different. But like, dude, your take is just out there.
It's just ass. That's
Right.
all it is.
And
But
so,
that was going on,
yeah,
and like I said, just kind of watching and seeing what's going on, uh, laughing whenever these discords get taken down
yeah.
because of that, which was always fun to watch happen in real time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the modern games, like I
Yeah.
said, Switch.
Like,
I
those
mean,
don't,
honestly, you can't really
like,
pirate
yeah, with
Xbox
those,
One or Series S, X,
you
PS5.
say
You
that.
can, but
You say that.
normal,
Yeah.
people that have these, just a basic machine, it's gonna run like ass. That's
Right.
just
But
basic. That's
also,
just how it
my
is.
whole thing is, why would you even want to even try to emulate anything on, like, like, Switch,
That's that.
yeah, like, Switch, like, a lot of those games, like, anything that requires an internet connection to be played,
Hmm.
like, why would you even bother with that? Like,
Yeah.
because I'll be honest, like, to put an example here, me, I want to play the new Ratchet and Clank. I've wanted to play it since its
Coming to
fucking
Steam.
reveal. What?
Coming to Steam.
It's coming to fucking Steam?
Did you not know that?
Fucking no! Oh my
Yeah.
god! I'm goddamn excited! Ah! I don't have to buy a
Let's see.
PS5.
Yeah. Let's see. Rift Apart. That's the newest one, right?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah. That's fucking metal.
Uh,
Oh my goodness. Please be real. Are you
it
looking it
is.
up?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in
The Discord?
here. There you go. That's the Steam page.
Ah,
Oh yeah.
yes. July 26th. Son of a bitch, that's
Mm-hmm.
soon. God
Yeah.
damn it. Well,
I
shit.
know what you're gonna be doing here in a few weeks or in a month.
Right. Well, you know what else comes out? I think that same fucking day.
What was that?
Uh,
Was that the DLC?
hold on, I'm trying to think. No, Pokemon's
No.
not till the end of the year.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Jeez.
I'm trying to think. Well,
I, ho-
fall
I hope it looks
release.
better.
Well, fall release,
Well, I mean, true,
fall
but
and winter.
like,
But they also said in the recent trailer they have it say planned release date. So that
Yeah.
makes me think that even though yes they plan to release it then, they may tell us later that they're gonna have to push it,
True.
which
True.
I don't mind.
As long as it looks better than it did
Look,
in
I'm gonna be honest with
the
you,
thing.
it looks fine to me. I didn't have any problems with it visually. I'm just excited that I get Gliscor back.
I know.
I'm so goddamn happy. I fucking screamed when I saw Gligar. I was like,
Nice.
"It's the bunny!" And I fucking lost my shit. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, no, what I'm pretty sure it comes out the same day is Story of Seasons Wonderful Life, the Harvest Moon Wonderful Life remake from GameCube.
Is that coming out on Steam or
Yes,
Switch?
that's coming out on Steam.
What was it called?
Story of Seasons Wonderful Life.
Seasons.
Oh,
Wonderful.
hold on, it
There
should be
is.
on my fucking wish list. I thought.
Yeah. June 27th comes out tomorrow.
Wait,
Fit the
wait,
books.
June? I thought it said. Hold,
Nah,
hold,
that comes out
pause,
tomorrow.
pause, 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 pause,
I'm buzzed.
fucking pause,
Yeah,
fucking
that's
pause,
tomorrow.
fucking.
An
Oh
unfiltered
my
tale of
fucking god!
friendship, family, and farm.
Oh
Yeah.
god, damn it! No! Oh
Story of
no!
Seasons.
No! I thought this was a month away.
Welcome to Forgotten
Nope,
Valley.
it's
Oh wait,
tomorrow.
hold on. I just realized. Oh, I swear, I didn't realize that. Okay, so we might have to edit our shit down because like the fucking trailer was playing at the top. So like I don't even know if. Well, we'll find out if that's in
Oh,
the
well.
audio or not. Was it
Yeah.
playing for you?
No, it wasn't coming through for me. I've got that
Yeah.
muted.
Oops. Well,
It's fine.
we should have our audio like fairly
It should be fairly like there's gonna be a little.
it's
bit
gonna
of
be, yeah, there's gonna
mine
be fairly close, but now I
that's-
have to edit this fucker down.
There's gonna be a little section in mine about
Yeah. Fucking
20 minutes ago or so that I accidentally went to close out Steam. And I
yeah.
forgot OBS was running in Steam, and so
What?
it stopped for a second,
Oh.
for like a minute, and then I got it back up.
God damn it.
So that's gonna be a slight difference there, but
We're
it'll be fine.
professionals here.
Very much so.
Just gonna have a quick pause. Well, that's unfortunate
fun.
that I had that little bit of a fucking dumbass moment. But
Happens.
for in case it's edited out of this fucking video or out of the thing, my dumbass got super excited about a game and went to check on something on Steam.
Oh,
and
it's staying in there.
well, the thing is, I don't know if that'll get copyright claimed.
Nah, I won't on mine because it didn't come through in mine.
Well, yeah, of course it's not gonna go through on yours. We'll find out.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be a problem. It's
Yeah.
just a game audio.
Yeah, I mean it's trailer, so well,
Yeah.
yeah, it should be fine.
Yeah,
It'll be fine.
nothing to worry
But yeah,
about.
no. We are professionals here at the Last Word podcast. But anyway, yeah, no, that's
what you
fucking
come
hype. Maybe look forward to that shit on the channel, Ghosts and Ghoulies.
Nice.
But yeah, no. But the thing is, back to the topic at hand.
Which one? The
Piracy.
Okay.
Look, motherfucker, we are gonna try and do better about staying on topic. If we can, if it kills us, and one of us
Oh,
is a
yeah.
ghost. But you know,
but
with the whole like when a game is fresh the fuck out, like okay, this being a good example, if I see anybody illegally fucking spreading around this wonderful fucking Harvest Moon game, it's one thing to like play the ROM of the original game that's on GameCube. I'm actually fine with that. But don't you dare fucking do shit about the new one. If you're gonna play the remake, because it's like, oh, well, the graphics are better. I could probably do something
well,
with
yeah,
that.
let's buy
No,
it.
fucking buy it. And that's where I stand on that regard. Because
yeah, so kind of going off of that as well. So what I was saying, a minute ago, whenever it comes to like old, new, whatever type of games,
Yeah.
old games. When
Yeah.
it comes to those, the way I look at it, if the publisher, in this instance, really the only games I ever uh, do are like old Nintendo games.
Yeah. And see,
Excuse me, that you
that's
can't get
also fine.
anymore. Which even now, one of my favorite ones to play on the Game Boy Advance emulator was Fire Emblem.
Uh-huh.
That's coming to the Switch,
And so now you have a
so
reason to
I don't
not
have to
emulate
worry about
anymore,
that. Exactly.
because you could
So that gives
genuinely
me
just do that.
exactly
See,
that gives
that's
me
how,
excitement for that.
because like, that's why I don't really, aside from being afraid of fucking up my computer, that's why I really
Hmm.
don't mess with emulators that much. Like, I have a Game Boy emulator, but
Yeah.
that's for Poke MMO, which is a fan game
Hmm.
and everything, and also for other Pokemon fan games. But like, the thing is, I really don't like emulate anything, which I do plan on like playing like Emerald or something like that for the channel. I don't have a Delgado, so I don't have the ability to like
Which I mean,
do
there's
that
no
with my
telling
3DS.
when they're gonna do that with
Right.
the Switch. Which doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense. Why they weren't like, hey, look, here's
I
original
feel
Red and
like,
Blue. It's
well,
just like,
I feel like they were not wanting to just heavily fucking just sideline their fucking DLC, because like that's their big thing right now. I feel like they clearly do not want to get people going, well, fuck the DLC, I want to play Emerald.
I mean, I'd 100% play that
Yeah.
over the new ones.
Well,
Because
because that's the thing,
okay,
I would definitely
that's a
play,
whole nother.
like, look, fucking, hold on. Motherfucker, I was actually about to fucking try and pull up a camera, but I don't have a physical camera on my computer. What I was doing was I was opening a drawer and pulling out a
Yeah.
Game Boy Advance SP with
Yeah.
physical copy Emerald. Because
Oh,
the thing
yeah.
is, the way I am, unless I plan to record it, I'd have to get all that equipment first. But
Yeah,
the thing is,
doing that is
yeah, that's a pain. So I'd rather just say, fuck
Mhm.
it, personal time, I'm playing Emerald on the Game Boy and everything.
yeah.
But like, the thing is, for the most part, like, I have these all physical. So like, if I really get that itch of like, oh, I want to play this game, I'm not gonna emulate it. Partially because keyboard controls suck ass when playing. That's part of why I don't like to play most emulators, is because I don't like, especially with the Game Boy, which is just up, down, left, right, and everything. I don't like having to do that shit with the keyboard. It doesn't feel natural with what I'm seeing. And I'm pretty sure there's probably a way to get like a controller that,
Mhm.
or like the hook up a controller and do that. But at the same time, that still doesn't feel right to me. I'd rather just play it on the fucking Game Boy that I have. And
Yeah.
but for those that don't, much like with the whole like, oh yeah, well, I don't have that streaming service. It's another case of that. It's like,
Mhm.
but that doesn't excuse modern games at all. It's like, oh,
No.
I don't have a Switch, but I want to play Scarlet and Violet. So
I
I
want to
guess
make it better.
yeah, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Because we're keeping modding separate from our discussion about
Nah,
just
mod-
emulating.
okay, no,
No,
modding
modding
goes in-
modding
into
is
play with,
modding is completely different.
emulating.
No,
Nah.
no, Caleb.
it's not
Ca-
completely
no,
different.
Caleb. No, we're putting that
Trust
aside.
me.
We're gonna talk about that in a minute, because modding is, because it's one thing to be like, oh, I want to play Skyrim, but I don't want to pay for it. Emulation. Oh, I want to play
Game Pass.
Skyrim. I have, well, that's another thing, but like, it's like, oh, I want to play Skyrim. I have Skyrim. I don't like Skyrim. Modding. That two completely different beasts. So let's finish up. Let's finish up just baseline emulation. Then we'll get into modding.
Okay.
Because there's a couple points I'd like to
So-
make in modding that are ups and downs and stuff like that. But with emulation, it's like you have someone that's like, oh, I want to play the new Pokemon games, but I don't have a Switch. I'll emulate it. Like, like, first of all, like, if you have, there's a lot of things I could say. Like, if you have the money to have yourself a fucking PC, which granted I get a lot of people actually will run emulators on their fucking Android phones or whatever. But still, let's say this scenario is you have a PC, like a standard PC, and you're choosing to emulate a Switch on there and run ROMs of illegal ROMs that have been ripped from game files of games that are currently still being sold in stores, not like third-party stores like Game Exchange or whatever, but like GameStop and Walmart and shit like that. Like, it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Like, there's no point in, basically a lot of what Caleb was saying. You shouldn't emulate anything that's still out currently, that you can still go to the store and buy off the shelf, even if you don't have the hardware. Like, I get it. We're in tough times. You can't afford that Nintendo Switch. But, like, let's be real here. Would you actually fucking play the game if you... Because that's a thing that we could use to lead into the modding. Because I feel like you're just, like, bursting at the seams over there. You're very quiet. Eventually, we will have camera feed, at least between the two of us, so that way we can kind of gauge each other off the conversation. But, like... but yeah, to open it up to modding, because, like, it's like, oh, say you have a Nintendo Switch. You have, so let's not use Scarlet and Violet, Sword and Shield. And you're like, I don't like the trees in this game. The trees, they look like they're from a fucking PlayStation 2. This looks like fucking Ocarina of Time shit. Like, and then you proceed to load that shit up on your computer, because of course you would, because you're just like, oh, I don't like how this looks. Switch emulator Sword and Shield ROM. And then you load that up, and then you look for the mods, and then you mod the fuck out of it. At that point, it's no longer the same game. Like, it's one thing if something comes out and it doesn't look as polished and pristine as you expect it to look.
Well, okay, so that's one thing. Whenever you have a game or games like Sword and Shield, Scarlet Violet, Let's Go Pikachu, Brilliant Diamond, or BDSP.
Yeah.
All these Pokemon games that have come out in the time span that Breath of the Wild came out to Tears of the Kingdom. Those two games still look phenomenally better than anything, unfortunately, that the Pokemon Company has released, because greed. We gotta have this Pokemon game out by this point in time for money, sales, Christmas money, all that kind of fun stuff. That's all it is. You know, if they really wanted to make a good-looking Pokemon game, they would. You know, and if they only do and push things out the way that they do, is because they know Pokemon sells. It's gonna sell whether it looks like shit, whether it looks amazing. It's gonna sell. It's Pokemon. That's just how it is. Unfortunately, we're at that point. It does make me sad that we're at that point, but we are at that point, and we have been for the past entire life cycle of Switch. And I mean, somewhat into the 3DS. You know, Sun and Moon look okay for being 3DS games. Now I could just be an old school kind of guy. I like my 2D Pokemon games where they actually look really freaking good.
Which I will clarify. Gens 4 and 5 were not 2D. 2D sprites, yes. However, the
Yeah.
world and environment were a 2.5D, quote, quote.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, they were 3D environments and 2D graphics mixed
Oh yeah.
together, but it still looked good for what it was. You can
Yeah.
take things, and I don't know if you want to like show it on your screen or not, but like you could take things like fan games, like shit. Can I even think of any by name that aren't just the in-game graphics of those games? Yeah, no, I really can't. But like you can take a lot of Pokemon fan games that you see coming out that have a
And they're in
lot
the.
of work put into them, and they're solely 2D, not like the
Mm-hmm.
2.5D stuff. They are solely 2D,
Yeah.
and they look stunning,
Amazing. Yeah.
gorgeous. Like nowhere near the level that you see, in my opinion, with the 2.5D style of like Octopath Traveler or Triangle Strategy or, the Octopath's sequel.
Mm-hmm.
But like Pokemon could be at that degree.
Like if we had a Pokemon game in that art style, like it'd be hard for me to put it down.
Right.
Like I mean, granted, I've not bought and I've not picked up Octopath or anything like that. Like I've played demos, I loved them, but I just never found the time to finish them.
Right.
Um, one, if I got it on Steam, I could play it on my Steam Deck while I'm at work, which I might eventually do if that goes on sale.
Which I have physical copy if you ever want to borrow it.
Oh really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I might have to borrow that.
I
Then.
just forget that I have it
Yeah, on Switch.
because I haven't. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to
But
do that. Yeah, thinking.
yeah. See, now you don't have to emulate it.
Well, I wasn't gonna emulate it. No, I was gonna buy it eventually if it went on sale. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah.
Staying topical, but
Oh
like,
yeah.
the thing is with the whole, because like I feel like all these discussions almost always
They go
run
back to Pokemon.
straight back to Pokemon and modding, because those seem to be like so fucking hand in hand. Because I will admit,
I love
the
Pokemon.
the work that people have put into modding Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
They look so good.
Yeah, I will say
Like,
it's I
holy
will say I
crap.
don't know how I feel about like the higher frame rate
I
thing.
love it.
'Cause
Give me 60 FPS
Well,
all
like-
day because the Switch can handle it.
what
Give
I'm
it to
getting
me.
at is like a lot of shit, and I don't know if it's because I'm just used to seeing stuff move slower,
Could be.
or
It
if
does
it's
take a
just
minute.
because like it's kind of like with new TVs, right?
Yeah.
Because like I see a newer TV showing an older TV show, and everything looks like it's just flying the fuck by, and I'm like, this is not how fast this movie was, and so it just feels weird, and I'm like, this isn't how this show is supposed to look. Fucking Big Bang Theory ain't supposed to be this fast. But like, because I saw a clip on, because like I see clips from the BDSP editing and stuff like that that's being done like a lot on Twitter, and one I saw
Yeah.
recently was Electros and its battle animations, and it just looked stupidly fucking fast, and I'm like, that feels unnatural
Yeah.
and everything. And don't get me wrong, it does look good. It's really cool that people are doing this. And for a game that pretty much probably, if it weren't for the fact that they've got to make their money back somehow off of sales, even though they've basically done that with the Japanese sales alone,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they gave a shit about Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. It showed that they didn't give a shit about Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl because they passed it off to Ilka to handle.
Mm-hmm.
Which, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
I will say, Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl looked
They look good.
good.
They
It did. And I'd say it even played better than Diamond and Pearl initially did, I think.
Yeah.
I
From what
haven't
I
beaten
remember.
it myself. The same. Like, I haven't beaten
I've
it
gotten
myself.
decently far myself.
I think I
but,
got
no.
to Crasher Wake, and I beat him.
Okay. Yeah.
But, like, the thing is, people, on one hand, I feel like they're just never satisfied, and they always want more. And don't get me wrong, I understand that. Like, we can definitely go further into detail with it because we do plan on doing a stream that is solely Pokemon, and
Oh,
one
yeah.
that is solely Destiny 2, because I made up a list today and showed it to Caleb, and it was like a bunch of podcast topic ideas, and I was like, well, we know that the Pokemon one's gonna happen
Yeah.
because almost every fucking episode ropes back everything I record.
Ropes back.
Yeah,
to
ropes back
Pokemon.
to my favorite thing. So I was like, we're gonna have to do an episode on Destiny. That, and I'm always hellaciously for listening to people talk about the lore of things that they really like. But anyway, with the whole premise of like modding, we'll back off from, because like with Pokemon, that's just people wanting to have. It's like BDSP. It has a limited dex. It doesn't have, so it doesn't have every Pokemon up to Gen 8. It doesn't prior to Legends Arceus is the big thing to keep in mind here
Mm-hmm.
and everything. So like it doesn't have the Sword Shield dex. It it's just, I'm pretty sure it's just Diamond and Pearl's Pokedex and everything. And so you have essentially this game that does the same damn thing that Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee does, right?
Mm-hmm.
That looks fairly nice and is fairly one-to-one with the story, if not exactly one-to-one with the story. But people shit on it. They shit on it so much. They made the base level champion battle more difficult than what it was in Diamond and Pearl, and they still bitched about it
Mm-hmm.
and everything. And I'm like, if you're gonna praise Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee to the moon and back for what it is and not even touch it with mods, but you're going to mod the shit out of Diamond and Pearl just because it wasn't a platinum remake, I'm sorry, no. That, and let's be real here, that's why it's happening, because it wasn't it wasn't a platinum and it wouldn't even have, even if it was a platinum remake, people would have been upset that it wasn't a platinum plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's what they wanted, was a platinum plus. Because I'll be honest, what I wanted was just a platinum 1-to-1 remake
Oh yeah.
and everything. If they made a 1-to-1 remake of Heart Gold Soul Silver, I would have bought it twice. But like,
Honestly,
in regards
same.
to modding games, like it just depends on how long that game's been out, and it also goes on, well, can you buy it still? Skyrim is that Schrodinger's cat of, it's been out for a long ass time, and yes, you can still buy it, mainly because, you know, as long as it's available digitally, you can still buy it fucking anywhere.
Oh yeah.
But like, it's that Schrodinger's cat situation where it's like, oh, yeah, it's old and it's still out and you could still buy it. But the thing is, it's one of those games to where it aged okay and it looks all right. And the only reason they keep re-releasing it with more and more shit is because they're just trying to make money off of it and stall. And my theory is that they're trying to stall for Starfield.
Yeah.
But with the whole thing with modding and everything, because even I think even back then, like Skyrim had been out maybe like a year or two, and people were modding it, and they were like, "Oh yeah, Skyrim is best on PC because you can mod it." I'm like, "Oh well, that's fine, that's funny," but like, why? Like, it's one thing to do these things to, because like I will say, when it comes to graphical fixes or something like that, or hell, even you going and being like, I'm a genius and I can fix this bug that fucks things up. Well, I mean, first of all, if that's a thing, that'd be sick as hell. But I don't think people even do that.
No, they do.
Do they?
Oh yeah.
Because like I wasn't sure.
Not
if,
just on that, but
if you
plenty
changed
of
the
other
music,
games.
I just realized.
Well, the other one stopped.
Yeah, I noticed it got quiet and then it started back up, and I was like, "This is different."
Yeah,
But,
I just noticed it stopped. I was like, oh crap.
Yeah, but with the thing is, using Skyrim as the example, like that's been out for like ever. Like, yeah, they keep reselling it and doing like a Legacy plus 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 edition or whatever. But like at this point, part of playing Skyrim has evolved into modding it, which leads me into what I wanted to bring up with this being Gary's mod. Okay.
Okay.
You follow me here?
I think so.
Gary's mod is literally taking the engine, if I'm correct, if not just the fucking game itself, of Half-Life or Half-Life 2, I can't remember, and then just modding the fuck out of it. But the difference is, it's like, oh, here's Skyrim, but I turned all the dragons into fucking Thomas the Train. And then here is this fucking sandbox that we made by ripping apart a game and then making a whole new thing out of it, fully dedicated to making new shit out of with existing assets. Like, I am very much okay with Gary's mod.
Mm-hmm.
I'm alright with Skyrim and its mods, mainly just because of its age. But if it's a brand new fucking game, don't touch it. At least let it age some. Because, like, people that were modding BDSP right out the fucking gate, I can't understand. Like, look, I will admit, my ass was a little frustrated and pissed off when I saw the models of how they were approaching the character models for, like, the overworld.
Yeah.
But, like, once I realized, oh, it's a 3D version of those 2D models that were chibi art. That's fine. And plus they were cute anyway.
Oh, exactly.
I had no problem with that. But like what I did have a problem with was people being all, oh, this is like people getting upset that it's Diamond and Pearl. It's like, and so they were like, well, fuck this, I'm gonna mod the fuck out of it. But at least, because don't get me wrong, I have seen people put in shit that wasn't even Pokemon. I don't know if you've seen that.
Kirby.
Yeah, Kirby. That was the
I love
example
it.
I was gonna, like, I'm like, that's funny, but I don't want it in my fucking Pokemon game. That
needs to be there.
No.
Yes.
No. Because my
Yes.
point being, it breaks the immersion. I don't want to be that guy that's like, my immersion, but like, like Kirby is not a Pokemon. As much as he looks like he would be one, he's not. Like, the closest he gets to being a Pokemon is fucking using his B ability on a Pokemon in Smash. But like, the thing is, like, I just, like, unless, like, I'm just so not for it. Like, just play the game as intended. Like, unless you can tell the game is just clearly a cash grab, then go ahead, be that shitter, and just be like, fuck these guys. They tried to make this game and put it out as a cash grab, so we're gonna mod the fuck out of it and make some meme videos out of it. That's fine. Because that, I mean, at that point, the developer deserves it.
Yeah.
But, like, I just can't justify, like, you know, fucking, like, it. So, like, taking the whole BDSP thing. Kirby and BDSP, stop it. It's funny, like, keep your screenshots, but get him out of here. Kirby's not a Pokemon.
doesn't have to
Then
be
you
Pokemon.
have modding BDSP to where it has, like, you know, the national decks and other shit in it. You're basically making it an up-to-date Pokemon game instead of a one-to-one remake. I'm fine with that if you make it into something that's more of a fan game. Because in my opinion, first of all, if you're doing that kind of shit, why aren't you taking that and making a fucking fan game out of it? I'm tired of the 2D fan games. And anything I've seen that's 3D is just modded shit that looks bad.
No.
And then you have playing the game as it is. Like, and I guess it could just be like I'm just very much of a loyal fucking person to my games. But like, you don't see me pulling up like buying Mario Odyssey and then taking that file and then being like, I want to play Mario Odyssey, but I want Sonic levels in it. Like, then it's not Mario anymore. It's Mario and
Yeah.
Sonic at the summer game. No, but like, but I don't know. It's just my whole thing with that is like, I'd rather just play the game as it's supposed to be. Like, modding to me has always just come off as this kind of griefing thing, or just a means of doing funny shit for the sake of doing funny shit and be like, look at this funny shit. Like, the oldest example I can think of is Left 4 Dead 2, but they replaced enemies with Hatsune Miku. Like, they replaced the witch with Hatsune Miku, and so like they were running up into the train, and you, as you got closer, instead of crying, you heard her singing Live in Polka, or however you pronounce it, and you would see Hatsune Miku just fucking curled up in the fetal position, like rocking back and forth, doing the animations of the witch. And it's just like, at the time, I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny. And even to this day, I'm like, that's funny. The videos didn't age well, but it's still funny.
Yeah.
But like, at the same time, it's just weird. Like, I wouldn't want to play the game that way. I'd rather just be like, because to me, if you're gonna mod a game to that degree to where it's just like, okay, yeah, that clearly doesn't belong here, you might as well play Gary's mod. I think is the point that I've tried to get to this whole time. But the
Gotcha.
floor is now yours.
Okay.
Sorry, I just,
Nah,
like, I
you're
feel like I've gotten everything out that I could.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. Which we'll probably get close to wrapping it up here in a minute as well.
Yeah,
Just like a couple additional things, like
yeah,
I get it, makes sense. Now certain games, are way easier to mod than others. Some aren't. Some way harder. But the whole thing, when it comes to modding, as you did say, Skyrim or something like that, all of that is, or not all of it, but a lot of it has to do with like the developers actually adding in the mods and the whole mod screen itself, to where you can go in there, mod it inside the game without having to mess with the game files. Which Bethesda's really good about that. And then a lot of other
yeah,
type survival type games are doing that as well, which is really cool to see. And it's not so much taking away the initial experience of the game. It's just adding on to it if the developer no longer does or wants to, or whatever, or don't put in the time to develop it properly, like the Pokemon Company. But that's a whole nother thing. I mean, like,
yeah,
if you buy the game, you enjoy it, you beat it, you play it, but you're like, I want to see what this would be like a little bit better, and then you go in, you download, you figure out how to get your file to work, your raw or your emulator to work, get the mods loaded in, all that kind of stuff, and have a heyday. It's fine, go for it, whatever. But the biggest thing is like, if it's not for profit, go for it, because a lot of these older games that we want to go back and play, or we know we used to have, but when we were younger we stupidly sold it for whatever reason, um, and you go back to some kind of secondhand store to buy that game again, they're gonna charge out the butt,
Right.
the ass. You know, like it's absolutely insane.
Like, fucking,
Yeah.
over like $100 for like
Mm-hmm.
fucking a lot of older Pokemon games.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
Or
when you
like,
can easily go in and either get an R4 card for your DS or mod your 3DS or
and see,
whatever else,
like,
because those are all on there.
if I remember right, because I don't know if I talked about it last time or not, but there's a guy that when I was younger, that was part of a pagan church group thing
Mm-hmm.
that I was in, and we were holding like the like gathering or whatever at our house, and one of the guys that was part of this group was just kind of like chilling like before we got to where we were doing like the ceremony or whatever, and he had his laptop with him, and he had like a DS. Like
Yeah.
it was like the DS Lite, I think, at the time. And he had this cartridge that was like one of those DS cartridges you could put a micro SD in,
Mm-hmm.
and it had like a shit ton of like DS ROMs on it
Yeah.
and everything, which that's a whole nother thing with that. But I remember at the time he had copies of, I think it was like, I want to say it was like black and white, but they were the
Mm-hmm.
Japanese copies.
Hmm.
Yeah, so he had those files on that, and the English ones weren't even out in America yet.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, is basically having, is like with that, it's like, oh, this game's not out yet, but this guy, even though like the game's not out in America, rather than him try and get a hold of a authentic Japanese copy, he just got like this ROM off the internet or
Yeah.
something at the time, which for the time being like around the early 2000s, somewhere in there, because like what was this? For Black and White to have been out, it was probably closer to 2010.
I think so.
Yeah, especially
Late
if it was in
2000s, roughly.
Japan. So like, yeah, the internet's not as fresh as it was, but like that still sounds like something that probably could have taken hours to do. And it's just like, I don't know, like
Um,
that is another case of like how we've been saying, it's like if the game is being sold, like don't fuck with it,
different. Yeah.
because like that, like what you had said had kind of made me think of that.
Mm-hmm.
But like in the whole regards of like, oh, use mods to make a game look better or play better, like I could understand making something play better, especially if it's like something that clearly the developer has just given up on.
It's either that or the hardware it's on
Right. Which
is just outdated.
I personally think that the case of the Switch is that, like, you know, we're probably about to get a new Switch sometime fucking soon, or at least I imagine we
hope.
would, and that's the only reason why Scarlet and Violet, because I'll be honest, like Sword and Shield, BDSP, Scarlet Violet, Legends Arceus, they look great to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is retroactively looking back at games prior to them and going, yeah, no, this looks better than the last game. I'm fine with it. I don't compare outside of, especially like comparing outside of Nintendo games. Like, fuck comparing. It's like, oh, this game looks like ass compared to the new God of War. Of course it does. It's not the same fucking developer.
It's not God of War. It's not
It's
even on the
it's
same hardware.
it's not, yeah, it's not even on the same hardware and everything. But I will say at the same time, personally, I would still want anything Nintendo to be handled by Nintendo.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what little soul is left would not be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Because, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just with the all that Mario RPG coming out soon, so freaking excited about.
And that I will say, from what I've seen with the newer stuff coming out, like the stuff they've announced, like,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the one problem that I feel Pokemon tends to hit with, and the whole like, oh well, mod it to make it look better, mod it to add shit to it that should be in it in the first place. The Dex cut, the Dex cut was something that I don't think they've ever properly explained, but my interpretation is so that way they don't have to fucking force everything into it. Like, genuinely, how the fuck would you have Kyogre in fucking... Like, if they were... Like, as an example, Gen 10 comes out. It's Russia. Why the fuck is Kyogre here? Like, it's a case of... my justification on it is... Like, you don't have everything in it, because when it comes down to it, they do pay attention to competitive stuff, especially more recently. So, of course, they're going to balance it out by not putting everything in the game. And they also have a case of they've got overworked employees that, you know, don't want to do Pokemon stuff anymore. And so they're
Exactly.
spread thin. And when it comes down to it, it's all about the developer. But at the same time, someone worked hard on this. So I'm going to play it authentically, and I'm not going to... I guess a good way to point to put it for myself is, like, as an example, I'm playing any Pokemon game across the fucking 9 generations we have so far. And, like, let's just use an older one as example. Like, if I'm playing Emerald on an emulator, and I'm like, well, I'm wanting to have a shiny Ralts for this run, but I don't want a shiny hunt for hours and hours and hours. So I'll use mods to up my shiny encounter rate. I hate that idea. Because, like, yeah, sure, that's just a cosmetic thing. And most people will be like, well, why would you do that when you could just, like, you know, inject it into the game? It just doesn't feel right to me.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like at the end of the day, that's probably just my whole thing with modding. It's like, especially when it's a game that's out already, and like, yeah, sure, the games don't look the most pristine, and sure, not every Pokemon's in it, or like, not every move is in it. But like, I don't see a problem with that. Because if the move isn't in the game, it's for balancing reasons. If a Pokemon's not in the game, it's probably for balancing reasons. But at the same time, it could just as easily be a case of they're saving that for DLC to get people to be more incentivized to buy said DLC.
Oh yeah.
But at the end of the day, you never know. My standpoint on it,
Exactly.
like, I can see where modding is fun. I can see where it can even be necessary. I just don't fully stand by it. And I also wouldn't be a lot like how you are, to where you're just like, oh, I can't wait to fucking mod this. Like, I feel like that thought right there just feels gross. Like, if you get a game, it's like, say, as an example, they announced Destiny 3, and it turns out it's not even an MMO, it's going to be more along the lines of, like, it has a very good single player experience, and it's a vast, heavy, like, loaded up single player story that lasts fucking for days and days. And it's this most amazing fucking thing ever. And you get it, and you're like, man, I can't wait to mod this. Like, that comes off to me as you're not playing the game to play that game, you're just playing Gary's mod with insert game here.
with every game.
What?
What
What?
you were saying.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Nah, it's not with every game. It's not my first thoughts.
Because like I know
Depends
that's
on
not
how
how.
long I've played the game.
Yeah.
You know, all that kind of fun stuff. If I want to, you know, if the option's there, if I want to have, you know, different things, and the option's there to do it.
Yeah.
But honestly, whenever
Like,
it comes to newer stuff like that, I don't take the time because it's too much of a headache.
Right. And I feel like it all just really comes down to emulation, yay or nay. If
Yay.
it's brand fucking new, no.
If you bought
Wait,
it,
yeah, like if you bought it, I honestly still
different.
I still kind of feel like why the fuck would you take the time to hunt down this ROM and an emulator and all that shit when you have the game right the fuck there? Or like why would you take the time to try and figure out how to pull the game off the game cartridge? Like that it's just like you could just literally turn the game on and start playing
Yeah.
and everything. But I feel like there's just a lot of people that are like, I want it faster. I want it to go by so fucking fast that I can't see it. But then there's like, because like I could even be
Really
fine.
fast, just smooth.
Like I could even be fine. Like say like, oh, down the line, it's like I get maybe 20. Let's go with like 40 years from now, where like you know they don't do shit with the Switch anymore. You can't buy Scarlet and Violet on shelves, and people have already like dug through the files and have you know, you can find mods and like ROM hacks and stuff like that. That's fine. I just don't like it with brand new games, even if it's like okay, you bought it and it's been a while since you played it and you wanted something different out of it. I feel like that's just kind of, I don't know. Overall, I just feel like it feels dirty. But then when you have something like Skyrim, it's like it's been out for like ever. And yes, you can still buy it, but like it's because it's just constantly getting re-released. And the only new thing is that the developers support the modding. And it's because there's a whole like basically at that point they're selling you mods.
No.
Basically it goes from someone out there is working their ass off to fucking make a mod for this game that they're like, yeah, I want the elves to have big old titties. And then you have, hi, we heavily support this and here's the big titty elf mod. $5. And it's just like, yeah, no, I feel like I just keep looping and looping and looping. Like, I can see where it's fun. I can see where, like, people come from with it. I just, as much as I'm like, yeah, no, watch anime on fucking fuck Crunchyroll and all that, I'm just like, my games are fine as they are. I like my games. But I feel like stuff like that is just completely different, though.
It is.
Like the
They're
only
both completely
common
different.
ground they have is supporting the official release.
Yeah.
And I
that's
feel
what
like
I'm for.
and I feel like if you go from that angle actually, because that just made me think of something. When you look at it from support the official release, I think the reason why modding video games makes me feel so gross is like if it's kind of like if say, okay, you watch Naruto, right? Like you love Naruto. And then you're like, man, I can't wait till someone abridges this and then this gets made of, or someone abridges this. And then you prefer the abridge over the actual thing.
No.
And it's like, and then in the
That's too
case,
much time.
what?
Has too much time. Way too much time.
What? Abridging an anime?
No, watching Naruto all over again.
Oh, yeah. But like, I feel like that's the best way to approach it, like, and also connect everything. It's just like, oh,
That does make sense.
What do you mean it doesn't make sense?
No, I said, and that doesn't make sense.
Oh, it does make sense. Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I thought it made plenty of fucking sense. Because, like, that's what I was basically chasing in circles this whole time, was like, like, what am I trying to get at?
I just
And
see
I
you
was
over there
like-
chasing your tail for like the past 30 minutes.
And I was just like, that's it. Fucking, basically, my point being, it feels gross because it doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel like it's what the developers intended. Much like how you wouldn't want Naruto to go from being like, I want to be the Hokage to, I want to kill all the, and then you just shut that shit right the fuck off now.
Well, they already did that with Boruto. But you know, that's
spoilers.
Thing for
That's
another.
You spoiled it. What?
I didn't spoil anything.
I mean, in all
They just
fairness,
changed up the formula.
in all fairness,
but
who's
that's
watching
good.
Boruto?
Honestly, me, maybe. But,
But yeah,
as always,
Yeah.
remember,
yeah.
stay cheesy.
You're doing the outro. Like, look, we can have this be 2 hours. Like, I was talking.
It already has been. It's
Yeah.
almost
Well, we got
2.5.
10 minutes, fucker.
10 minutes, nah.
We got 10 minutes.
No
What's your recording thing say? I got an hour 50.
I'm at an hour 10 for this one. What was this one?
What do you mean?
What
What is this one? Are there 2 recordings?
Oh yeah, like I said.
Oh
messed
yeah,
up.
because your thing fucked up. Oh, so you're gonna have
Hey,
to edit
you want
yours
to go get
anyway.
some ice cream?
Go get some ice cream.
Yeah,
Ice cream. Ice cream.
I'll take that as a yes.
Yeah. Wait, where do you want to get ice cream from?
I don't know. Place that has ice cream.
This is a fucking beautiful 10-minute outro.
Exactly.
But I mean, we could basically kind of spitball some ideas for what we're doing next week.
True.
I mean, we also could spend these 10 minutes wrapping up properly. So like, to start,
Okay.
fucking, so
So-
piracy in general. It's
if you
fucked.
want to do it, do it.
Right.
It
We
comes at your
can't
own
stop
cost.
you. Yeah.
I'm not gonna stop you. Government's
The
not gonna
FBI,
stop you.
well, depending on
Depending on what you do, they may not
look,
stop you.
we are
You know,
not.
If you're,
We here at the Last Word podcast are not going to tell you, reassure you.
I'm not telling
into,
you. Yeah, no.
the FBI not kicking down your door.
No, they may not, unless you are the creator of it. You know, like with
Right.
the Pirate Bay, the Silk Road.
Fucking
All that
no!
kind of
Pirate
stuff.
Bay is how you get viruses on your computer.
Well, no. What I'm saying
is how
if
you
you're
make
the
your computer
creator
shit the
of
bed.
those.
But you
Like,
know,
if you were the
yeah.
creator of those, that's a little
Yeah.
different. If you're just, consuming it, not hurting anybody, not selling it for profit, not
But
trying to make
then-
a quick buck,
yeah.
who cares?
Just in general, like if you're wanting to do it, whether it's piracy in general, modding, emulation,
If you feel gross about it, don't do it.
right.
Like,
I, for one, definitely don't feel gross going on to insert thing here to watch fucking Doctor Stone, which the new season's great, by the way.
no,
But
not even finished
yeah,
the first one.
I'm fucking sorry. What?
Haven't even finished the first season.
Deported. Get out of here. But no, but yeah, like genuinely that's actually the best takeaway from all this is like if you want to do it, go ahead, just, be fucking careful, I guess. Not just for your own personal safety, but your computer as well.
If you know what you're doing,
Right.
you know.
And then like also if you don't like if you start to do it and obviously you don't like it, then fucking stop.
Exactly.
No one's opinion is factually correct at all, despite how obviously opposite sides of the coin we continue to be. But
And
like
probably always will be.
yeah, that's fair.
Unfortunately.
But the thing is, like I said, I do see like the appeal. It's definitely not for me when it comes to like modding or like, because I will say I do like emulation. It's just I don't do it because most of the stuff that I want to play I already have access to.
No.
But like then with modding, it's just, I feel like with a lot of this, it's just situational. Hey, don't do that.
Don't do what?
You fucking asshole.
I'm sorry. I've been up since like
And
6 o'clock this
now
morning.
our fucking audience is yawning.
Yeah.
Look what you did.
You're welcome.
Fuck. But yeah, no. Any ideas what you want to do next week?
Oh, let's see.
Also, after getting ice cream, Amogus?
I'll probably be going to bed after ice cream, to be honest.
That's fair.
I gotta work at 9. Let's see. We could do.
Cause like what on that list I sent you feels very much like it's tickling your fancy.
We could do Okay Boomer.
Okay, Boomer? Oh
Think
no.
so.
Okay. Well, you heard it here. We're talking about fucking getting older next week.
Exactly. I'm gonna talk about shit that makes us angry.
Oh,
great.
yeah. Actually, that does sound like it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna
Get to
be fun.
vent. Get to vent a lot.
Oh yeah.
How we're old men. And
Yes.
we're just angry. Angry all the
Creaky
time.
and creaky.
Yeah,
Every time I stand up, everything pops. It's wonderful.
Oh yeah. But now that we've gotten that all figured out, I feel like everything's all wrapped up, everything's all calmed down.
Yeah.
If you liked everything, do the things.
I'll
and-
say it since he doesn't want to say it.
to-
If you enjoyed listening to our rambling over the past 2 hours or so, hit that like button, share with your friends, subscribe. Channel links down in the description, along with the music links. And I think that's about it.
yeah. Stay
Yeah.
cheesy, stay spooky,
And we'll see you again, because you haven't heard
the last word. Bye.